It's the opening night and they're lighting the lights. The orchestra is tuning to make sure they sound right. It's time to start our show tonight.
Hi and welcome to Bay TV's Theatre Show, and today we're here at Fruit and Fibres to talk to John and Andrea about their festival, Page to Stage. Hi John, can you tell me where the idea for the festival originated?
Well, for 4 years there was another similar festival running in Liverpool, which I'd been involved in. I wasn't running it. I'd been involved as a writer at one time, as a director at another time, and the person who was running that put out a notice early in 2014 and said he wasn't going to do it anymore. And I thought, that's a bit too big of a vacuum to leave, so I thought about it for 30 seconds or so, and then I put out a notice and said I'm going to run a similar festival. So I couldn't back out then, could I?
That's all right.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, so that's where the idea came from originally.
That's
and
good.
of course we got 24/7 in Manchester, which is a similar festival.
Oh yeah.
So we needed that in Liverpool, so
Yeah.
it was down to me to keep
sort
it
it out.
going. Yeah.
Right. So what do you look for? Is it writers, directors, actors?
The festival concentrates on writers.
Yeah.
It's all about the writing, so it's to give new writers a platform and an opportunity. It is a competition, so we have writers from all over the country applying, submitting their scripts. The scripts are read by an international team of readers.
Yeah.
They're adjudicated, they're commented on, they're scored, and the best 8 this year have been selected to go through. From there, we help the writers find a director, and then we have a casting event where they'll meet actors from all over the area. So to find directors, we have what we call a speed dating event, which is exactly the same as a speed dating event, except that it's writers meeting directors rather than men meeting women.
It's
Or
all
the
right.
other way around. Yeah, yeah.
It's not bad, is it?
Yeah, and that's going to be held here the end of this week, actually.
As well as that, is there other ways that people can get involved?
Well, that at the moment, we've got enough directors. They've applied to be directors, and basically just invite them all to come and meet the writers. The way other people can get involved is sometime early in February we will have the casting event. All the details will be put on the website.
Yeah.
We have a casting event whereby it's going to be similar. Writers and directors will set themselves up in little stations around a big venue, which we haven't found yet. And actors will come in, read the notices on the boards and see what roles there are for them, and then they'll go around and meet the directors and the writers, so that you can find out what's available and whether they're actually interested. And from there, the directors can then set up their own auditions.
Oh, that's good.
So that's how actors can get involved. We're always looking for volunteers to help out.
Yeah.
I mean, Andrew's a volunteer. We have a volunteer webmaster, well, 2 of them actually. We have a volunteer social media coordinator. So we're always looking for people with skills to volunteer to help us out. Towards the festival time, which is in April, we will need volunteers to do front of house duties and stuff. So all that is on the website. So people just have to go to the website, and they can either send us an inquiry form and just say what they're looking for, or they can look at the specific vacancies that we post up on there.
Yeah, I think that's great for like, younger actors. I kind of know myself, you know, people who are looking for it to get involved and don't quite know how to. I think it is like a
it's a great opportunity for younger and less experienced actors, because it is a profit share. So the likelihood of making a lot of money out of it is very slim. Well, I'll be honest about that, you know. I mean, I think the most any of the actors got out of the whole festival last year was about £90.
Yeah.
Some of them walked away with nothing because there weren't enough audiences, you know. But it is a great way of them meeting writers, meeting directors,
Yeah.
and networking.
Yeah,
Of course, the casting event is just, you know, a free-for-all, so they can network with other actors as well.
Yeah, I think
you know.
that's what you need sometimes
Yeah.
as well, to get, especially locally, if you are local, you know, to get to know people who are local,
Yeah.
who can maybe help you out along the way. So
And of course we welcome student actors from Lipper and John Moore's to come along and audition for the roles and meet us.
Yeah.
You know, the more people that I meet, the better the festivals will become
Yeah.
next year. You know.
thanks, John. Now we're going to talk to Andrea. Hiya.
Hi.
So how can volunteers get involved?
Volunteers can get involved in a number of ways. As we've already covered, we're always looking for general volunteers. We'll be looking for such things as front of house staff and venue staff when it comes to the actual festivals and the works being staged. But in the short term, we're looking for creative skills individuals who can lend their time to helping the festival grow in terms of marketing and promotions. And we're looking particularly for somebody to go out and scout venues for us, because as well as going back to venues that we used in last year's festival, we want to attract new venues. We're looking for somebody to coordinate the festival as well, maybe do that as a joint role. We're also looking for actors predominantly as well when we hold our casting events shortly in early February.
So is there like an age limit or anything? Or
No, there's no age limit being stipulated at all, and obviously if there was at all, that would more so be down to the writers and the directors in terms of what they envisage for the work, in terms of the actors and the characters that they represent. But I mean, in terms of volunteers, there's no age stipulation. The only stipulation that we might ask for is that either they're local to Liverpool particularly, or that it's a commutable distance for them, obviously, for consistency's sake.
So I know sponsors are obviously important, you know, how can they get involved?
Basically, this isn't a money-making situation. Any money that is made from, say, ticket sales or any donations, which we're more than welcome, it's all going to go back into the festival pot in the hope that obviously year on year the festival can grow. Basically, you know, and it can attract more people in terms of volunteers, actors, directors, writers. You know, we have got writers from up and down the country who've been successful, but we've also had writers interested, you know, in submitting their work and unfortunately weren't successful. But it doesn't mean that they can't, you know, resubmit next year, obviously, if the festival grows. You know, and we're hoping that it's going to be a real venture for all involved, not just the writers, even though they are our starting point. You know, it's the volunteers, you know, it's the actors, it's the directors, it's the audiences as well. We're hoping to take the performances out to the local community.
Is that to do with like education?
Yeah, basically from an education perspective, but as well as kind of, you know, we as a festival and a service, hopefully, you know, to the people of Liverpool and locally, would hope to give as much back as possible, you know. So for all the individuals involved and the skills they may learn along the way, you know, we want to take that even further, you know, in the terms of being able to kind of offer corporate services, educational services, whether that be in the form of confidence building workshops, whether that be being able to impart knowledge that we've gained through our own careers, you know, to burgeoning writers or, you know, burgeoning actors in any sort, really.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it? Andrea and John, thank you for talking to us today.
Thank you very much for talking to us.
They're also looking for creative consultants and patrons to get involved in the festival, and you can learn more about this by visiting pagetostage.org.uk. And now we'll be talking to me. So, why did you start the website? Well, I read an article in the paper about Julie Walters, and she was more or less saying about how there's been a decrease in working class actors in the industry. And then it kind of annoys me, coming from a working class background. You know, it is difficult to go to drama school and to be able to fund yourself. So then I decided that I just wanted to make a website and obviously help other people, and, you know, for other people to be able to relate to what I'm saying and who I am. So who's it for? So basically I decided to write about actors that people like me can relate to, like working class actors, and I also try to interview them over Twitter and Q&As. I also have a section called #/Sunday Picks, where I choose different programmes that, you know, people can relate to. I kind of choose my audience is probably more related to young actors. So most of the stuff I write about is working class or stuff that younger actors can relate to or are having problems with. And what's it about? I'd say it's for younger actors. You know, I try to write about people or actors who people can relate to, especially, you know, if you haven't gone to drama school like me. It's more to do with, I guess it's kind of personal, it's more to do with people I can relate to that I hope that other younger actors can relate to. And where, if people want to look at the site, where can they go? Well, you can visit my Twitter page, which is Sasha Says It All, or you can visit the Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Sasha Says It All, and the website is sashasaysital.wordpress.com. Thank you very much, Sasha. Thank you very much, Sasha. And that's it for part one. For part two, we're going to be off to Chester to speak to Chester Little Theatre. Welcome back to part two, and we're here in Chester to speak to the cast and crew of their new production, Passion Play.
All you want to do is sleep. You lie there snoring, and when I finally drift off, I dream I'm singing an aria in the wrong key while you and Albert and Kate and Agnes sit on the front row.
Of course, all I want to do is sleep when every night is spent picking
Nod off over
the same
a
old
book in front of the
entrails.
TV, in front of me.
Looking for the same bad omens.
Sleep is your way of getting through. Or is she so demanding you can't even keep awake?
She? Who's she? Kate?
Not Kate, no. I know that's over.
There's no one else.
So, why don't you start off telling us a little bit about the play?
The play is about a middle-aged couple, Eleanor and James, who've been married for about 25 years. And they have a friend who recently passed away, who left his wife, who was another friend of theirs called Agnes. He left her for a younger woman called Kate, who is a bit of a sexual predator. Oh. And after Albert dies, she sets her cap at James, who is the husband. So the play is ostensibly about marital infidelity and an affair, but it's got this brilliant theatrical conceit at the centre of it, which is that James and Eleanor are essentially played by two different actors, and they have alter egos called Jim and Nell as well. So that way you get to hear all the sort of stuff that usually people only think to themselves and don't admit and don't acknowledge, and all this sort of stuff.
You don't want people to hear.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So it sort of covers similar territory to some other plays, or quite a lot of other plays really, but does it in a really imaginative and theatrical way.
Then why does so much of your work take you away from
So
home?
much.
2 days a week at least.
Most men are away for 5.
You're not most men.
All right. I feel the need to get away. Nowadays, if there's a choice, I go to the gallery instead of here. Yes.
And when I ring, you aren't there.
Once I wasn't there. I was running in the park. You won't even allow my jog around the common anymore.
I am frightened alone. You never used to go away. We spent all of our lives together.
I tried to persuade you that was wrong.
You never wanted to go outside then.
How do you know?
You never said.
I should have. Variety's an aphrodisiac. Our married friends spend whole days apart without accounting. People need that kind of freedom and privacy.
I don't. You didn't.
Well, you were an untiring wife and mother. I worked hard to keep the family, whilst many of our friends chanced their arms, selfish risks for their children's futures, blew the lot on weekends away, and sometimes tried to change a partner.
You didn't
and
want
I
that.
made the long shore haul with no surprises.
We try and do lots of different things. So we do comedy, we do Noel Coward, we do Shakespeare, we do something more modern. But yeah, again, this is like a step up, isn't it? There's quite a lot of, a bit of bad language, but a lot of very frank conversations.
Bit of fun.
Yeah, and I think people will. I think they'll enjoy it because it's well written. It's funny in parts. It's quite dark in places, but there are some funny moments, aren't there?
Yeah, there are
So I think you do get a bit of risk of cliche, but you do get a bit of everything.
Oh, so there's something
It's
to
sort of
everyone.
quite a lot of drama, quite a lot of dark moments, but quite a lot of things that people will laugh out loud at as well.
And it might be quite good for people who've been in long, happy marriages and maybe start questioning themselves.
We're all going to go off and have affairs.
I know. Come and see the play and then get off.
I wouldn't come if you were having an affair. That wouldn't be wise.
Wrong move.
No.
It's very different.
Yeah.
It really is a different night out. It's a clever play, isn't it? There's lots in it. It's witty.
Yeah.
It's very passionate.
Bit of everything.
There's lots in it. It's just very different. Yeah. It's very clever.
Honestly, Agnes, feeding people's mail.
And as it turned out, there was. You recognise the handwriting?
Of course, I'm longing to be in your bed again. But there aren't many opportunities to leave the house. Later this year, there's the Matthew Passion, and towards Christmas, Mozart's Requiem and Messiah. Some or all of these, I hope we will be listening to together. If I can come at a time when you haven't any other callers, of course, I understand that I have no claims on you, any more than you on me, which strikes me as the perfect arrangement. And sometimes when you come here, we'll feel each other up while Eleanor's in the music room. I like the way you whisper all that filth. I like the way you tipped wine from your mouth into mine. So until the next rehearsal, here's thinking of you.
So as the actor said before, there's a bit of everything like going on.
Yeah, there is. I mean, it's kind of there's some laughs in it as well because you've got an alter ego. Yeah. Some of the conversation isn't kind of moderated or censored, so these things come out of the alter ego's mouth that you normally wouldn't hear.
Yeah.
And the laughs are sort of black and grotesque and ugly as well, all that sort of stuff. It's great.
Oh, that's great then. So why did you choose the plays?
Because it is very theatrical. Because it tackles the sort of stuff I'm kind of interested in. I think amateur theatre especially has got a reputation for being quite safe, and doing your Oscar Wildes or whatever it may be, Noel Cowards and so on. And I really like theatre that's a bit more kind of edgy and real. Really, different. Yeah, exactly, and it'll speak to a lot of people because we may not like to admit it, but a lot of us married couples do have problems and issues, and partners fancy other people and all that sort of stuff. So it should speak to the audience as well.
I think it's nice when people expect, especially the audience, a little something different instead of, like you say, the usual what people expect. Yeah, I
hope so because as I say, amateur theatre's got a reputation for pandering to a very safe audience, and this isn't that at all. It's kind of edgy, and I mean I really like plays and like going to the theatre when you find yourself thinking about what you've seen 3 or 4 or 5 days later and thinking, yeah, that was really good, so I hope that has that sort of impact on people, really.
Sticks in people's
brain
exactly. For a few days.
here's hoping.
Join the club. I pour some tea.
Thank you.
I never meant to show you that.
I'm glad you did.
Glad? How could he do this to me?
Glad, certainly you didn't keep it to yourself, as it obviously troubled you so much.
How could he risk humiliating me?
But doesn't it trouble you?
In front of her?
It troubles me that you and Susie have read this letter. Has anyone else?
Certainly not.
You? My cheeks are burning. Do you want to keep it? She's bound to notice.
I think that might be best.
My world's caved in and I'm sitting here.
Thank you.
Come on, get away as quick as you can.
Eleanor, love, I only meant to put you on your guard by a few subtle hints. But when you started defending her and saying she was harmless, I knew it was time to show you the letter.
Oh, come on, you're enjoying every minute.
I didn't call her harmless. I said she wasn't evil, that's all, and I think this letter proves it. And anyway, I knew she fancied James. In fact, I told him.
That much is true. Make do with that.
But did you know he listened to your concerts in the bed she used to share with Albert?
Try not to imagine it.
He wants a bit on the side, that's all.
So have the rehearsals have they been going well for you?
Yeah, they have.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
I can't
That's
complain.
great, isn't it?
I'm one of the ones who's new here, so it's all totally new
That's
to me.
good. So have you met some nice people?
Of course,
Oh yeah.
Particularly Mark, the director.
Oh, can't forget him. So when can we see the play then? When's it on?
It starts on Saturday the 16th of January and runs on the Saturday night, and then for the week afterwards, from the Monday to Saturday, 7:30. And it's on at the Chester Little Theatre in Gloucester Street in Chester.
So where can you buy tickets, or where are they available?
Online is probably the easiest option. Chester Theatre Club has a website. I think it's www.chestertheatreclub.co.uk, but if you Google it, I'm sure you'll find
That's
it.
great.
And then there's an online booking procedure you can go through.
I don't know what people are usually used to when they come to the Little Theatre,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's what this is. This is quite exciting, it's dangerous, it's raunchy. So if you kind of want to be shocked out of your seat in a way, I think this is definitely something to see.
So what have you got coming up next?
The next thing the Chester Theatre Club are doing we've got auditions on the 4th of February, I think it is, for The Importance of Being Earnest. And then the week later I'm auditioning for a play that I'm directing myself, which is actually a play I wrote myself as well, which is going on in April. So we're auditioning for that on the 11th of February. And again, all the details for the auditions and so on, the parts will be online.
So they open for everyone, or?
Yes, absolutely, yeah. We really enjoy sort of having open auditions, because you never know who's going to sort of cross the threshold, come through the door, and it's a great way to accept and welcome new talent into the club.
Way for exposure as well for people.
Here's hoping, yeah.
That's great then, thank you.
Pleasure, thank you.
So that was the Passion Plays here in Chester, and that's the end of this episode. Again, thanks for watching.